In the bright little town of Sunnyvale, there lived a boy named Sammy, curious, clever, and just a tiny bit lazy. Sammy loved one thing more than anything else: his backpack. It was old and scruffy, with loose zippers, a faded color, and a tiny rip on the side. But Sammy didn't care. He said, "It's not about how it looks, it's about what's inside." Except, most days, what was inside were crumpled papers, half-eaten sandwiches, and one lonely pencil. One Monday morning, Sammy's teacher, Miss Clara, asked for their homework. Sammy gulped. He'd forgotten again. "Sammy," Miss Clara said gently, "one day you'll have to take responsibility for your things." Sammy nodded, pretending to listen, while he secretly stuffed everything into his backpack and muttered, "Maybe my backpack can do the homework for me." He didn't notice that as he said those words, the backpack gave a tiny glow. That night, as rain fell softly outside, Sammy tossed his backpack on the floor and went to bed. But something strange happened. The backpack started to shake. Its zipper slowly unzipped on its own, and with a whoosh, a swirl of light and stars burst out. Before Sammy could even open his eyes, the backpack grew bigger and bigger until it was as tall as a door. Then it spoke. "Sammy, are you ready for an adventure?" Sammy gasped. "My backpack can talk." "Not only talk, my boy, I can take you anywhere. But tonight you're going to a place where forgotten things come alive." And before Sammy could say another word, whoosh, he was sucked right inside. When Sammy opened his eyes, he wasn't in his bedroom anymore. He stood in a colorful forest with trees made of candy sticks and rivers of milk. "Whoa," Sammy gasped. "Where am I?" A high-pitched voice answered, "You're in the land of talking animals." Sammy turned and saw a tiny squirrel wearing glasses. "I'm Professor Nutters," said the squirrel, "and you must be the human boy with the magic backpack." Professor Nutters led Sammy to a giant gate made of golden vines. Beyond it stood King Leo, a majestic lion, but he looked sad. "Oh, Sammy," he said, "my roar is missing." Someone stole it and hid it in the dark woods beyond the Rainbow River. Professor Nutters whispered, "The only way to reach it is with your magic backpack. It can open secret portals if you believe." Sammy gulped me, "But I can't even finish my homework on time." King Leo smiled. "Then it's time you learn what you're truly capable of." Sammy opened his backpack, and out came a glowing bridge of colors. Step by step, he crossed the Rainbow River. But halfway through, the bridge began to flicker. "Oh no," he cried. The backpack's voice echoed, "Believe in yourself." "Sammy, your courage makes the bridge stronger." Sammy took a deep breath, straightened his shoulders, and said firmly, "I can do this." The bridge brightened again, strong and steady, until he made it across. The dark woods were silent, too silent. Suddenly, a deep growl echoed. A huge wolf stepped out, looking for a lost roar. Sammy stood tall. "Yes, give it back," the wolf snarled. "I took it because no one listens to me. Everyone fears me." Sammy thought for a moment, then said gently, "Maybe if you used your voice for kindness, others would listen because they care." The wolf froze. After a long silence, he sighed and placed a glowing crystal orb on the ground. Back at the castle, Sammy handed the crystal orb to King Leo. The lion lifted it high, and with a mighty roar, light burst across the land. The animals cheered. "Thank you, young hero," said the king. "You've given me hope." The backpack began to glow again. "It's time to go home, Sammy. You've learned your lesson." He closed his eyes and opened them in his bedroom. On his desk sat his backpack, looking ordinary again. But when he opened it, he found a tiny golden feather and a glowing acorn reminder of his incredible journey. At school that day, Miss Clara was surprised. Sammy's homework was neat and his books were organized. "Wow," said his classmate. "What happened to you?" Sammy just smiled. "Let's just say, my backpack taught me a lesson." That night, he whispered to his backpack, "Thank you, old friend, for teaching me that adventure begins when I believe in myself." And from that night on, Sammy was never lazy again, because he learned that real magic doesn't live in a backpack. It lives in a brave and kind heart. Thank you so much for joining Sammy on his adventure. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tales every week. See you next time.